We'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Green.
Here.
Lepore.
Here.
Nistrovich.
Here.
Ricks.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Yar.
Here.
Good to see everybody here tonight. We will move on to approval of minutes. The first one being the special meeting minutes of the quarterly workshop that the council held on July 13th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We also have the regular council meeting of July 20th. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments on any non-agenda items. If anybody would like to address city council on any non-agenda items, we would ask that you simply come up to the podium, state your name and your address for the record to the clerk. It doesn't look like we have anybody tonight. We will move on. Is there a motion? I'm sorry, adoption of the agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
I have no changes other than I had emailed out a replacement motion for item 3. It's in front of you on the table tonight.
Okay. Anything else from the council? Motion to accept the agenda as presented be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Now we move on to consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration, which we have 4 this evening. The first one being consideration of special event requests, the Chamber of Commerce for the fall decorating. Mr. City Manager?
The City Council is scheduled to consider approving a request from the Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce for the fall decorating, or better known as the Scarecrow Contest, in the use of the Trailhead Park on October 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Last year, this event drew close to 70 businesses, civic organizations, and residents to decorate scarecrows that were placed from Park Street down to Gratiot. They're requesting permission to do that as well. Again, this year, the decorated poles get half hay bales and some corn stalks, and then the sponsors are required to then put up a scarecrow. Chamber Director Jill Albin is here tonight if you have any questions.
Okay. Jill, any presentation for the council?
Well, this will be our 3rd annual Scarecrow Contest, and it's grown exponentially each year. So we have figured out there's 140 poles in this town. So we are setting our sights high on that. We've sent out the information already, and we have 8 people already that have stated their interest in doing it. So they're going to go up on the weekend of October 3rd, and they'll come down the first weekend in November. And we're going to be partnering with the high school with the band boosters, because they sell this year. We're going to purchase our corn stalks and hay bales from them, sort of help out. So.
Good.
And we might have, we may end up having some activities at the school when they're doing their selling, but that shouldn't interfere with anything else. And we may need some, this year I don't think I'm going to be hopping up and down on the wagon like I did last year. So, in the past you've been nice enough to assist us with someone from the DPW, so we may need that assistance again, although we are asking the boys or the gals, the students that are part of the band, if they would help participate in dispersing the bales of straw and everything.
Okay. Will there be a charge to people who want to put?
It's a $10 fee. That we've done that since the
Okay.
beginning. So,
Okay.
And that way we cover our expenses in the non-Tifa, district with that, so.
Okay. 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 Any other questions of the director? No? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request from the Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce for a fall decorating contest and the use of the Trailhead Park on Saturday, October 10th, 2015, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any further discussion? Go
Just
ahead.
want to thank Joel and the chamber for continuing what seems to be what's now a healthy tradition for the city.
I too would just like to say that many compliments I get from out-of-towners who drive through when they go up north and just admire and think it's really put us on the map in other areas in the county and in Oakland County as well. So I appreciate it.
Good. I'm glad it works out well then. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Item number 2 is consideration of designating an MML voting delegate and alternate voting delegate. Mr. City Manager?
The city has received notice from the Michigan Municipal League that the annual convention will be this year, September 16th and 18th up in Traverse City. The MML is requesting that the city designate one official and one alternate who will be in attendance at the convention as the city's representative to cast a vote on behalf of the city.
Very good. Footnote to this, Mike has indicated that he would like to serve as our delegate. Jeff and Mike had historically done it for years, but Jeff won't be able to attend this year. So keep that in mind. Is there a motion?
I move to designate Mike Rostrovich, who will be in attendance at the MML convention, as the city's official representative to cast the vote of the city of Richmond at the annual meeting.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. Discussion. We appreciate Mike taking that. Is this did we just miss 1 year? Because it was up in the UP last year?
We missed 2 years.
Is it 2 years now?
Yeah, just due to
Okay.
cost constraints and all that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the previous year it was in Detroit, but there wasn't a lot of
Yep.
substance on the convention.
That's what it was, yeah.
So there have been 2 years, I think, now that we haven't, yeah.
Yeah.
We were looking back trying to find that for the motion, or
Yeah.
for the background brief, and realized that.
I appreciate you going,
Yeah.
representing us. Any other discussion?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate Mike representing us there. I mean, normally I'd like to attend and be one of our delegates. Fortunately, as Yarrick baby number 2 is coming close, or that delivery date, I need to stay in the area. Traverse City is a little far out of range.
But you got that real clear.
She was nice about it.
Yeah. While we're talking on this motion, they do ask for an alternate. Is anybody, I mean, that's the next motion if one needs to be made. If there isn't one being made, then that takes care of that. But is anybody else would consider being an alternate? Okay. Any other discussion on this motion?
Just, Mr. Mayor, I just want to point out that we do a good job of sharing the cost of this too. So usually we used to, get charged or provide a bill to the city for gas mileage or something like that. But usually Jeff and I have just been eating that and just, we think it's a good thing to do. So trying to share the cost, we just do
That's
that.
probably why
without-
he's not going this time,
Yeah,
Mike,
that's right.
because she probably was going to pack him a lunch.
Really, Mayor?
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Is there another motion to be made on this subject? If not, we'll move on. We will move on. Okay, item number 3 is consideration of wage increase, non-affiliated employees. Mr. City Manager?
City Council is scheduled to approve a 2% increase to the non-affiliated employees. Recently, Council approved a 2% increase for the Teamsters as part of a wage and insurance reopener for their contract for the, I think this should be 15-16 fiscal year. I apologize. And in the past, we've always kind of considered that for the non-affiliated after we've done it for the union. We do have other bargaining units with that same wage reopener. So what I'd like to do is have this approved to kind of set the city's internal comparables in the past, and also have council consider for those non-union employees who also haven't had a raise in that same amount of time that the union haven't.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I move to approve a 2% raise for full-time non-affiliated employees, part-time police officers, cemetery workers, and non-affiliated part-time employees regularly scheduled for more than 24 hours per week, with the full-time employees' health insurance contribution increasing to 6% of the premium.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Discussion?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
It said, for many years, all our employees shared the pain of the city, and I think a 2% raise is reasonable. They are taking on a bit more of their premium in their health care. And the one thing I always want to credit our non-affiliated and our staff is on maintaining a comparable with the employees. I hear this complaint a lot, very times, that sometimes in other communities or other private sector industry, the employees take a big hit and management doesn't, and there's this conflict. And I think one of our positive relationships between management and labor amongst all our employees, that we try to maintain that consistency amongst everyone. No one's necessarily getting special treatment. We try to keep that pretty equal. We all share the pain, and when things get better, we all enjoy a little better benefit there.
And on that same token, it's been 6 years. July of '09 was the last raise. The other thing is, we don't have quite the amount of people that we had back in those days in some of our departments. So we've asked our employees to carry the load, and without a raise also on top of all that. So, we can applaud them for everything they've done to allow us to try to balance the budget over the last 6 hectic years. And it's time. We've been able to shake the tree a little bit and at least come up with something, and they also are giving back on the health care, as Jeff pointed out. So it's a win-win for the taxpayers and the employees, as far as I'm concerned. Any other comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and in speaking to the residents, they all have supported this as well, and we're a little bit surprised that we've held out so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we're doing this now, and it's the right time to do it too.
Anything else? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Final item 4, consideration of establishing a committee to meet with the Chamber of Commerce. Mr. City Manager.
As discussed at the special council meeting on July 29th, council is being requested to establish a committee to meet with the Chamber of Commerce to address the chamber letter dated May 15th.
Thank you, sir. Prior to the motion, the only call that I've received, or that I've talked to other councilmen that was considering this after our discussion on the, whatever that was, the 13th, was Dennis. And now Jeff has indicated that if he's available, he'd like to be on the committee. So that's the only conversations that I've had. Given that, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to establish the committee to meet with the Chamber of Commerce in regards to the letter sent to the City of Richmond by the Chamber, with the membership as follows: Councilor Jeff Yarrick and Councilor Dennis LaFour, and the City Manager.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, you didn't mention if you wanted to be put on it or not, so I didn't.
No, I said
You
I
did?
did.
Oh,
That
I'm
Dennis
sorry.
and I
Then-
were the
okay,
only ones
sorry, I
that had
didn't-
indicated we wanted to be on.
I heard Jeff, sorry, so I would like to.
Jeff said that it would be okay if he came to the meetings, the conversation that
Okay,
we had, because he
okay.
wasn't,
I misunderstood, so can I change that to?
I haven't stated the motion, so you can change
Yes,
it.
the 3 of them, please.
Okay.
I
Okay.
support that.
Pardon me?
I support.
Okay. Very good. Any other discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion passes. Moving on, city manager's comment, sir.
I emailed out council earlier this week, and it'll hit the paper and the website this week as well. We do have a position open in the DPW. The city planner on Friday drafted a letter regarding temporary signage. Pretty good. I've looked at it, make a few tweaks. Also, tomorrow morning, he and I are gonna go out and kind of compile a list of probably who this letter would get sent to. It's kind of soft at the first part, as we've talked about, but I'll send that to council before issuing it, to kind of phase in the code enforcement on the signage. So we're getting there. And then City Hall, we had our walkthrough last Monday, and I think we had a punch list of 10 items, all very minor in nature. We're coordinating all the phone system with Frontier and the servers currently being put together. All the computer wiring's run, our phone wiring's getting run through the same channels, and so we're making progress. There's still some always small things that seem to take the time, but I truly think we could be moving this month with that. We have some furniture issues to take care of, but everything with the building itself is finished, so to speak.
I told you we'd get in before you retired.
That's my goal. We're gonna
Don't say it
one
yet.
way or another.
Announce it at
In
the first
October,
meeting
we're
there.
there.
We're not quite there yet.
4 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's going well. The pavement turned out very well, and so we're getting
Very good, very good. Looks very nice over there. Okay, council comments. Michael?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Jeffrey?
Yes, I just wanted to thank the fire department. We had our special meeting there to better understand their needs. Appreciate the members there that joined us and toured, gave us a guide, a tour through the station and what the issues are over there. And also Jim Getzinger for walking us through the cemetery and concerns that they had out there. And I appreciate council taking these opportunities to go out and actually see firsthand these issues, which is far clearer than just getting a memo on it. Thank you.
Dennis?
I concur, and also the DPW doing their job keeping the city looking good with spraying the weeds and everything, so definitely many comments on that, positive, so.
Very good. Good. Dean?
Like to reiterate about the fire department. And also, had an opportunity Saturday morning to see a police officer pull a sign out of the ground that was illegal. I was very happy to see that, so
Very good. Very good.
that's all I got.
Jamie?
And I concur with the fire department as well, and I appreciate that the chief was very clear and concise in the description of each vehicle and its use. I did thought, though, that we were going to meet afterwards with them and discuss further about the grants and their needs, and I don't know if that is still going to happen.
I would assume that we were going to have a committee possibly. The city manager had talked about possibly having a committee after this meeting, once we
Okay.
realized what it was, what they have, what their needs are. We had talked briefly about that at one point.
I know when we had originally put this on the council agenda to form a committee, the consensus at the time, and I'm going by my memory, so
Yep.
please correct me if I'm wrong, was to have this meeting first, so that everyone had at least a good baseline of information, then afterwards we would form the committee. So
Yeah.
how that happened, whether there was gonna be the meeting after the walkthrough or have it on an agenda later, which is probably what we'll do now. We can come up with like a facility or a vehicle committee or long-range plan committee. I could have
My
that on
understanding was that what we did was what we had said we would do. And then from here on, we would get something together where we could sit down and talk about.
Okay, I just don't want it to delay with, like, to go much further, I guess, than past September, because the grant time will start opening up again, and just so we're prepared for that, if we could get
Okay.
into it within the next year.
Okay?
I've noted that with the clerk on having it on a future agenda.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, I appreciate
Uh-huh.
that.
Jim?
Just curious what the status was on the light pole on George Street.
Jim Getzinger actually ordered the stock last week.
Okay.
So it should be coming in. I'll check with him on the timetable and let let you know.
All right, are they ever going to take out the, some of the cement bases where the Cobras were?
That will be part of the, I've asked them for a quote on removing the light poles from Oak to Forest. And as part of that job, I'm asking also Reggie for a quote on that.
Okay. And,
And he hasn't gotten back to me on that, but I'll
right.
push him again.
All right.
He's working on that, also the LED stuff that he met with us about a month ago on, converting the city to LED fixtures for streetlights. So he has a couple things that he owes us, but I'll push him.
Okay. And have we heard anything about the railroad?
Jim's pretty good. He keeps pushing the Department of Roads on the 32-mile road and MDOT on this one. He's had some success in getting some of the striping put back in, and also getting them to agree to some of the fixes we're doing on some long-standing problems. He met with them on the bump outs that used to be denied and now appear that they're gonna be willing to let us put them in. So he's kinda pushing on a number of fronts on that.
Good.
You might, whose ever button we gotta push on 32, a lot of people have realized it's really bad.
Yeah.
So they're going into the turn lane to go into Howard Street to make a right onto Howard, and other cars are trying to pass them when they're
Right.
kicking
Oh,
back
I know.
in. So I don't know who we gotta,
We have to go after Bob Hoffner.
32 is,
32,
road?
the whole entire crossing
Uh-huh.
is Department of Roads.
Okay.
Not the city's. That road right away is not the city's because the entire width of the trail or the rail easement is in Richmond Township on the north side, City of Richmond on the south side, making it a road commission jurisdiction. We have notified him several times of that issue.
Is it, how much time has passed? Just give me a guess.
Year or more.
Oh, really? That
Oh,
long
yeah.
now?
Since I've notified the
Okay.
road commission, yes.
Maybe we need to get a hold of our county commissioner then.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, Don Brown. Okay. My turn. Good meetings, but council didn't give the whole 10 yards here. We met at 6:30 to go through the cemetery to take a look at it and see what we can do there. We also met with the fire department to go through all that. Then we sat down and had a third meeting, and we went over our goals and objectives, what was left from a previous special workshop that we approved tonight. So council spent an entire evening again on special workshop type things, which makes me very proud that this council is dedicated to making Richmond a better place. And I think our goals and objectives also have been cleaned up, and we're very clear on the direction that we want to go. And I think that we've made it very clear to the administration on the direction that we want to go. And again, we're working as a team. I love that. That's when we see things like this happen, this is what we're all about. So anyhow, moving on to the calendar, today being August 3rd. What do we have here? Cable Commission will be meeting on the 11th at 7 o'clock here at City Hall. The Planning Commission will be meeting on the 3rd. Oh, no, that's September that got changed. September got changed, not August. Okay, so August meeting is on the 13th at 7 o'clock right here at City Hall, we think.
Yes.
It probably will still be here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next regular scheduled council meeting will be on the 17th at 6 o'clock. And as far as we know, probably here?
Let's say here for now. Yeah,
Okay.
let's say here.
Okay.
And that would be the last 6 o'clock meeting.
Yes, okay. And then the last concert in the park that's sponsored by Senior Helpers is on August 20th. John attended, you said there was probably 100 people there?
I counted close to 100 people
Yeah.
at the second concert, which was, quite a few more than the first, but I think they're growing. And so I believe the third band is a real popular one amongst the group that goes to those, so, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Senior Helpers, for sponsoring that this summer. Tiff will be meeting on the 26th at 7 o'clock. The pool will be closing, believe it or not. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from tonight on the 31st of August. We get into September, and our meeting with the Recreation Department will be on September 1st at 7 o'clock. I believe, did they change the venue on that? Is it going to be at the library still? They were talking about moving it back.
They haven't moved them yet,
Okay.
so that one will be at the library, but I know we've talked about that now that it doesn't make sense to continue there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, very good. And that will be at the library on September 1st. Okay, there is no closed session this evening. Is there any other business of the city council this evening?
Is on August 6th, is the Park It still happening in the park?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so August 6th, Park It with a family movie, fun night.
Did you say 5th, Jamie?
6th,
Sixth?
Thursday, August 6th.
On a Sunday?
August.
August
Thursday.
6th.
Oh, I'm sorry, I turned it already. August 6th.
Big 6, right?
And yeah, actually, isn't that the Big Hero 6 is
Yeah,
the movie?
Yeah.
What
There's,
ti- Do you know the time?
I think it starts early evening. I would say 6.
5:30,
6-ish,
6.
5:30.
Yeah.
Call 727-3064.
That's
Correct.
That'd be the Parks and Recreation Department. They will tell you what is going on the August 6th, this coming Thursday.
And I'll make sure it gets out on the website to text and email everyone that's signed up for that.
Okay, very good. Okay, is there any other business of the city council? Being none, a motion to adjourn be in order.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support?
Motion's been made and supported. There's no discussion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion passes. Thank you for being with us.